Hey folks, I'm going to explain to you why this is going to disrupt the iPhone. Steve Jobs famously quoted once saying that if you were not disrupting your own product, eventually somebody will. And as a full-time investor, I sit down every day with the greatest product in my hand ever created, being the iPhone, and ask myself what truly can disrupt this product. I mean, we've seen everything from augmented reality to fake devices that can project screens onto your arm, yet none of these have ever come close to standing the test of time or even disrupting the powerhouse and the multi-trillion-dollar business that Apple has become. However, though this will not be the final result of a device that I think will replace the iPhone, I think it's reminiscent of what is to come and what will eventually disrupt it. And let me explain to you why. This is from my 16-year-old gleamed-eyed little video gaming nerd kid self when they came out with a video game device that said that you could play games Pong with the simple thoughts of your gamma, theta, beta, and alpha waves in your brain. And I can attest to this because I was blown away when they first came out with this mass-marketed neural impulse actuator that does everything from monitoring your eye movements to muscle movements to brain thoughts, and using it to play games was just unbelievable, though this idea would go completely bust in 2011. You might be saying to yourself, hey Kyle, why do you think that anyone's ever going to want something plugged into their brain, and how would that ever disrupt the iPhone? There's no way. Well, let me just reattest it. I will make a solid bet right now that once this idea comes into full fruition, you will simply be able to think, hey, call my mom. Hey, call my buddy Matt, and you won't even need to do anything other than think, and the phone will just ring. Heck, what about if you are blind and I told you that we could install something into your visual cortex part of your brain and give you your vision back? Well, that has been done already. Well, what if I told you you were deaf, that I could install a device going past your ruptured eardrum straight into your brain and give you hearing back? Well, they've already done this. I told you that I could install a device directly in your brain that would allow you to play video games and call somebody, or just generally think to do anything in a game faster than the reaction of you actually moving your fingers or having to say it yourself. Well, they've actually already done this. We're able to bring all of this together and create real realities within your brain through thought and device at a level that is faster than the words you can speak and the movements of your fingers. This is a reality we're heading to in a way that scares the likes of Elon Musk, where he says if we do not merge with technology, technology is going to merge away from us.
One of the things the Neuralinks allow Pager to do is to play his favorite video game, Pong. To control his paddle, on the right side of the screen, Pager simply thinks about moving his hand up or down. We've removed the joystick altogether. Now that he's up to speed, let's increase the difficulty and see how well Pager can play with the Neuralink.
And as cool as it is to see monkeys playing Pong with their mind, I will always have this reminiscent idea of this first initial launch phase of any kind of neural-based device for video games. And I can read you the fun little Wikipedia note because it blows my mind that these things are non-existent on the internet. And reading the Wikipedia page is really incredible because it claims that these devices attempt to move away from the classic input devices like keyboards and mouse and instead read electrical activity from the head, preferably the EEG. The name neural impulse actuator implies that these signals originate from some neural activity. However, what is actually captured is a mixture of muscle, skin, and nerve activity, including sympathetic and parasympathetic components that have been summarized as a biopotentials rather than pure neural signals. As of May 27, 2011, the OCC website that created this says that the NIA is no longer being manufactured and has basically been ended to life. This has to be one of the most incredible things from when I was a teenager, and it blows my mind that to date, folks, when I plug this into my computer, it still registers, but I have no software. The software is non-existent, and the only thing I have is a disk that says this is good for Windows XP. And what I thought would be fun as a little bit of an experiment is I've taken this relic of a device that will literally be echoed from something in the past, and I threw it up on eBay for literally a starting bid less than I initially paid for it, because like I said, back in the day when they first started coming out with neural readers, they were very expensive devices, usually used at universities, costing thousands of dollars. This came to the public market, I believe, at around like $180, and I was the first one lined up to buy it just to try something like this out. And even to date, guys. They do have versions of these devices out in variable ways that you can mess around with, but I just think having a relic like this as even a shelf piece is so cool. I don't know if there's any nerdy computer techs out there that could try and do something with this and maybe bring it back to life, but I figured I would throw it up to the public market just to see what you guys would think about it. If no one buys it, it's going to be a cool shelf piece and a story for me. If you would like to have this as your own story or a piece of tech that you can see if you can bring back to life, because I'm highly confident that it still works, I would love to know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. But it's a fun, creative video to help expand your brain and think about science and the evolution of tech. So stay cool, stay awesome, and I look forward to catching you tomorrow.